What's up? We are back with Ultimate Blerds. It's your boy Recruit Zero.
What it do? It's your boy Uncle Charles.
And we are here once again to talk about
That's a deep one.
Black iconic moments in geek cinema.
This was a difficult one for me. I'm gonna jump out the gate. This is a difficult one for me.
All right, tell them why.
Okay. When I thought about like geek moments, right? I instantly was like, well, wait a minute. Before I could think about geek moments, how could I not talk about like the history of like Black cinema as a whole, right?
That's true.
And thinking about like sources of where like these geek cinemas, you know, because let's name me some of like geek cinema to you.
I mean, for me, you got like Morpheus, of course. Mm-hmm. All of his moments, iconic moments, you know, in the dojo with Neo, that type of stuff. You got Lando in Star Wars, both Billy D. Williams and Childish Gambino doing their interpretations of the character, that type of stuff. You got Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection.
You did have Busta Rhymes. Shout out to Busta Rhymes.
Exactly.
If you're younger, go back to the early 1900s film Higher Learning.
Facts.
He gonna be feeling me for the next 3 birthdays. Yo.
And wait, honorable mention to LL Cool J in Deep Blue Sea surviving, even though Samuel L. Jackson got chomped.
Quick story that has nothing to do with, well, kind of. I saw him one day in real life. Samuel Jackson. It was at a house thing. I swear to God, I say the wildest things to celebrities, right? Like I'm like Jada Pinkett in like Low Down Dirty Shame. Like if I see you, I'm talking to the character, not the person. So I saw him and I was like, "Hey, you were the man in Deep Blue Sea for that shark ate you." And he just started laughing. Because it was so random. I love the camera pan into him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "We're getting out of here." And then Shark was like, "Nah, you not getting out of here. Everybody else getting out of here."
Perfect timing on that joint.
Shout out to LL, but not that song. My head is like a shark fin.
Yo.
Deep as blues. I could kind of do without that one.
Yo, that and the fact he was lying when he said they call him Big Ellie. That I'll have beef with that line forever. But let's get back to it.
If you see him in the streets, that's between y'all.
Let's get back to it.
I just had creative differences about a song. He was about that man's name. You know he's still swole.
I mean, he is still swole. I was saying nobody called him Big Ellie though.
Somebody did.
He did.
All right. You ever sees this?
Back to the geek culture.
I like your latest album.
The latest album was dope.
Latest album is fire.
But all right, so you want to mention blaxploitation? I think blaxploitation is fair. Well, blaxploitation, you got horror movies. Yeah. You got sci-fi. I feel like all of that is geek culture because those are niche. Those were never like the broader pop culture.
Because when you were telling me like, you know, geek cinema, right? Like I instantly thought about like, what is all the black stuff that we had, right? And I did think about that, right? And horror is a big genre for us, right? And I also thought about the fact that a lot of our movies for us, like in terms of Hollywood, have always been grounded in some type of like realism, right?
That's true.
And like blaxploitation was like the one time you started seeing people like do stuff like Blackula and JD's Revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like we were doing horror, and that was like the start of like black people in horror, right? Because then from there, like, and someone who's like a real movie geek is gonna be like, "This is wrong, Uncle Charles." But like, you start from there, and then you start seeing like Tales from the Hood,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You start seeing Bones, like
Vampire in Brooklyn,
the Vampire in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like evil, you know. But you start to see it coming from there, right?
That's true because the wider market starts seeing, black people rock with this. So
and before the superhero stuff, right? And so like again, like there was a whole time in the 90s. Like I just feel like I cannot not talk about like Boomerang, Menace to Society, you know, Strictly Business. Like it's a ton of them. Love Jones. We all know what they are.
Yeah.
But like during each phase, like from that always spawns the geek stuff, right? When we have a movement, we always somewhere is like a pocket that we go to. And horror is a big pocket. Yeah. We laughed about this earlier, but the Leprechaun did go to the hood.
That's true, he did.
So you see these different horror movies, and then you get like Us, Ma, Get Out, and because you start seeing our stuff like, Candyman, right? Old Candyman.
New Candyman.
They swarmed him. Candyman's the whole damn hive.
But it's so interesting how we do have a lot of interesting representations in the horror genre. Yeah. Because the running joke is that we always die in horror movies. Yeah. We have a lot of horror movies that's us.
We do. And it's like, again, because a lot of... Now, I'm going to put on my conspiracy theory hat a little bit. I think, it's by design that we don't get to see ourselves outside of things that are normal to us. Like, we don't see ourselves... I'm not saying that we don't, but like the depictions that are given, that are able to be made, you know what I'm saying, only have us in certain lanes. Right. So when I was thinking about like, what's a black sci-fi movie? And I'm like, I don't know what's a black sci-fi.
Yeah, like full, like black-led sci-fi movie? That's tough. Like, there's black characters in sci-fi. Like, you got Morpheus, you got Uhura in the Star Trek franchise, but black-led? That's tough. Yeah. If y'all know, if we missing something, put that in the comments. But nothing's coming to mind for me.
But that's important, right? Because I think when we talk about stuff that's like that type of culture, I decided to look it up through the power of the internet. When you talk about sci-fi in a way, you have stuff like They Clone Tyrone.
Yeah, we got recent stuff. We got They Clone Tyrone.
Sorry to Bother You.
True. You got I Am a Virgo. That was in that absurdist kind of sci-fi type lane. You got a throwback, Homeboys in Outer Space.
It's like one of the only shows where we were in outer space. Mercenary brothers down for one another. There's nothing that they can't do. And I'm telling you, I don't know even why that sticks with me so hard. Like, I don't even know if that's the actual lyrics, but in my head, those are the lyrics. Homeboys,
that joint I watched every week.
Mercenary brothers.
And it was like...
Weren't they like Delivery Man?
Yeah, I think so.
You see what I'm saying? Like, no matter how far we go, our stuff, like, we can't never be like Lord Emperor of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always, again, okay, top 10 black moments, we mentioned this in top moments, was, what's my boy's name who was in Star Wars, the new one?
Oh, Finn.
But what's the actor's name?
Oh, John Boyega.
John Boyega held that lightsaber.
Boy.
Man.
We were so misled by that. So misled by that. Disney, you messed up with that. Because if you had let Finn be force sensitive and get it cracking with Rey, you would have no problems making Star Wars movies. You messed up on that one.
I know we had Samuel Jackson with the purple lightsaber. Right?
Mace Windu, respect.
All the respect, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but John Boyega, when they cut to that scene, it was snowing.
We was ready.
It was dark, and he was like, I was like, yo.
A force-sensitive Jedi former stormtrooper, bro, would have went silly.
But sticking with the thing, what was he? Space janitor. Space janitor. I really do think it's something in like Hollywood that keeps us from being like
the tip top.
Yeah, like the man, like, okay, like Black Panther's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be up there. I feel like that's kind of like an easy layup. But that is one of the only times like we were like the man.
That's true.
Like the queen was the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like we were running things.
That's true, because most of the time we in something, we are not the boss, the chief, the whatever. We're just there doing our mid-level job.
Yeah, and so we've always leaned just kind of on like what we know, right? Like we lean and into a way. I feel like those movies bring out the geek in everyone, right. In terms of the community, like you talk to a certain group about Love Jones,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like all of us, like they talk about it the same way like we would talk about like the next Marvel film. You bring up House Party. And everyone's doing the dance, right?
Right.
Which people should stop sleeping on House Party 3. With Bernie Mac. Like, that was a good house party. I know everyone likes the first one, you know, but the third one was like, had all the lines.
Right.
Like, I know I'm on a storytelling kick, but some stories like just pop in my head. I remember watching House Party 3. And this, I knew I was too young to be catching the jokes. I was watching it with my parents. Yeah. So I was like old enough to watch it, but not old enough to catch everything.
Right.
And I remember when the dude was like, I could still hear my father laughing loud as hell when Bernie Mac was like, ooh, I even remember your name. They used to call you Jawbone. And I just... but it's like those, like that's art. Yeah, that's ours. And I like when we talk about like people in other things, I just always feel like we got to talk about our things that are close to us. Right. It's like those are ours.
No, that's true. I mean, there's not a lot of black-led properties. It's like in horror, we got Jordan. I think that was a huge part of Jordan Peele's popularity because he was centering us in a horror films, and they were really good. Sci-fi, we don't get this much. I mean, we got Will Smith.
Peele gave us a sci-fi. Yeah, we had MIB.
Will Smith with MIB. He really did that. I mean, that was for sure black-led. That wasn't just black culture, of course, but it was black-led for sure.
I almost forgot when you said Jordan. Space Jam.
Facts. Space Jam, yeah.
Old Space Jam.
Yeah.
Couldn't watch.
Oh, LeBron don't get no love?
I ain't watched new Space Jam. I tried. I couldn't do it. Maybe next time. but yeah, Jordan is Space Jam. That's another sci-fi one.
And then, I mean, the other ones are supporting characters. I mean, as much as I love Morpheus, he wasn't the main character.
Did you like New Morpheus?
No.
Why didn't you like New Morpheus?
I didn't like New The Matrix.
Okay, what was wrong with New The Matrix?
It was just not good. Like,
what was it good about it?
This episode's not long enough to go into it.
Now, you had me on multiple episodes just on my rant box. Right. I'm going to catch you on
my one. Rant would be longer.
Okay.
I wasn't rocking with that joint.
Billy D. Williams or Donald Glover?
Billy D, because he was just... That's like one of the smoothest black people ever. So like Donald Glover did his thing with it, but Billy D did his thing
Donald
first.
Glover got a actual solo, didn't he? Now that I'm thinking about it.
They didn't make... Wait, did they make... They didn't make a Lando movie. He was in the Solo movie.
Lando didn't get it. He was going to get it.
Yeah, he was going to, but Solo... The Solo movie
the Solo
didn't
Lando
do well, so they didn't do the Lando movie.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That counts as black-led, for sure.
I feel like Marvel movies and superhero movies are kind of like a layup.
Yeah, especially with the way they did Into the Spider-Verse and all that. Like, you came with the fire animation style, new character, took your time with it. That was a win. Like, undoubtedly, you can't... Uncriticizable win for that whole property, for sure.
Yeah. So... let's see. We had black people in Harry Potter.
Barely.
Didn't we?
Exactly. You don't even remember.
No, I know who I'm thinking about. It was the 1 point for Gryffindor. Her. She was always in there.
So she got one line.
She had a couple lines.
I'm glad she got union minimum on the set.
She had a couple.
That you don't even remember who the character was.
I don't. I just remember her screaming 1 point for Gryffindor.
Shout out to that lady.
Shout out to 1 point to Gryffindor.
At the same time, we wish you had more.
Okay, let me ask you this. Where do we put, like, Disney stuff? Do we put that in Geek?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely Geek. Like, what did we miss? We got...
Princess and the Frog.
Oh, you mean, like, the core Disney stuff, not like, Disney acquired stuff.
Because the reason why I say that is...
I mean, do fairy tales count as Geek stuff?
What's my man from? I always feel bad when I forget people, but this is just my life, and I realize I'm one of those people that describe people by, like, I don't know names. I just describe you by what you're wearing and what you're doing, and like that's how I know you. But Tevin Campbell sang that song in the Goofy movie.
Oh, Powerline?
Yes, because everyone cosplays Powerline. I can always see at a con, we listen to it. Like, everybody does the dance. We gonna get together. Like, everyone's always doing that. Like, does that not count?
I mean,
do cartoons count?
I guess cartoons count as geek culture. Yeah, why not?
I'm okay.
Throw it in there.
I mean, like, look at us, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, bam, 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 bam.
Okay, what genre? Okay, in geek movies.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see more of us? Like, what genre?
Everywhere, but my favorite is sci-fi, so I'd like to see more sci-fi.
What type of sci-fi?
Because you got Morpheus, amazing character. You got Spawn. You got Mace Windu. You got Finn. You got Miles Morales.
Yo, Michael B. Jordan was in a movie where they had powers.
Are we about to talk about Fantastic Four, man?
No, he was in another one where they had powers and they were taping it. And
Chronicle.
Yes.
Chronicle was dope.
And they offed him.
But he got murked.
Yeah.
Like,
he was
egregiously.
He was that meme where it was like, we finally got powers. We can save the world. And them two white boys was like, save?
They murked him egregiously, bro.
Yo.
They were like, not in my America.
What about, because I, like, as we do this, I think of people that hit me. Zach from Power Rangers.
Oh, well, I mean,
it's not a movie,
for sure.
But I just thought about him.
Shout out to Zach.
But there was a black character in the new Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
And he was green and not the black Ranger. I think he was
played by RJ Seiler, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's another one? Now I'm calling out like deep cuts. Percy Jackson.
I never watched Percy Jackson.
Was it Percy Jackson? Was it? I'm naming names. It's like, you know,
calling
Jackson.
Everybody.
Yeah, Percy Jackson in the Olympians. No, but there's a character in there that was black.
It wasn't Percy Jackson.
No, but it was a homeboy. You would think
it was with the name.
It was Brandon T. something.
He was the goat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like speed.
Yeah, he was one of the side characters.
In the movie.
But side note, if I saw a character named Percy Jackson, I would expect him to be black.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it. But I'm trying to give people their props for being in sci-fi.
I mean, facts. Brandon T.
Oprah?
What is Oprah what?
Ava DuVernay.
Oh.
I slaughtered her name. Like, I know I did. I'm sorry. But she said Oprah. In the mystical world that they were in.
Oh, what was it? The Wheel of Time? Something like that?
Wasn't Land Before Time. Now we got to look it up. Because she was in a movie. That was a whole movie. There's a whole sci-fi. Black women.
I mean, she adapted a joint. Yeah, for sure. A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah. Wasn't that sci-fi? Weren't they like going like back and forth?
It was like fantasy or something.
The dude who played rock and roll in Back to the Future. You know that new sound you were looking for? It's right here.
You just be calling up people without no identifying.
You know why I'm doing this? You know why I'm doing this? Somebody's probably been listening. It's like he has just been on a random roll. Because I want us to see how much we are struggling.
I mean, we have joints. Like, I mean,
We've named all the main
Color joints. Was a black women-led movie.
Fast Color, which one is that?
That one, I mean, you're gonna have to watch it, but
I mean, just describe it to me.
Lady had powers.
Women had
superpowers.
What powers did they have?
All kinds of powers, man.
Putting them on the spot.
Yeah, like, sheesh, you talk about the guy in Back to the Future and you want to grill me. Sheesh, at least I named the movie.
But I named what he did. We all remember that. Michael J. Fox went back and played rock and roll, and he was like, hey, you remember that sound? He called his boss. He was like, remember that sound you was looking for? And he held it up. It was so iconic. Family Guy did the
Everybody
same thing.
you remember had like one line.
But they were memorable. They were memorable. We have to give these people their props, bro.
They get props.
Everybody can't be
I'm
the
just saying. I'm trying to name joints we led.
That's what I'm saying. I'm proving the point that we have not led that many at all. And here's the other thing. We're just talking about movies. If we open it up to TV shows, there'd be some more. There's Supercell on Netflix.
Supercell. There's Project Power with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
So
Jamie Foxx had the other one where they were killing vampires.
Oh yeah, Day Shift.
Yeah, Will Smith had one.
Yeah.
Where he's a cop with the orc cop.
Oh yeah, Bright.
Yeah. So like when we talk about TV
does have more.
Yeah.
We had Bright. You had that joint. I mean, I Am Legend counts as a black-led sci-fi joint.
That's a good one. Man, we skipping a lot. You know what? Speaking of, Will Smith might be the ultimate like
black sci-fi guy.
Yeah, he was Hancock, which is wild.
MIB, I Am Legend,
the one with his son,
After Earth, even though it was bad, but
he still did it. I Am Robot.
I Am Robot. Facts.
Independence Day.
I might have to go back and watch I Am Robot now that Tesla talking about making those things.
We're going to be 80 years old when they finally come out. Y'all let that man just tell y'all anything. In 30 days, everything will drive itself. Stock price go up. $60 billion payout.
Facts.
Well, what happened? You said 30 days. It's 31. 45. It's woke. It's like, wait, bro, like, give me what I asked for. I thought y'all was supposed to be taking them Teslas and like parking them and like letting them drive and pick people up like a bootleg Uber or something.
I mean, they got that Hyperloop in Vegas. There's just Teslas in a tunnel.
He sold a flamethrower. I could kind of get behind that though.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was kind of fly. But yeah, back to that. Yeah,
we're not hyping
not on this. Not on this. I got off a little tangent. But Will Smith might be number one.
He might. That's true. The properties he's been in is definitely up there.
The black dude from Terminator 2.
Who got killed immediately?
He was in sci-fi.
I mean, yeah.
I'm naming.
Props to him, and he didn't go out like a punk.
Nah.
Like, he held it down when the SWAT team came after the...
That man was out of there.
I was like, damn, he was just trying to save the world.
He had to cut the arm when, what's his name, cut his arm.
Yeah.
Take it off exposed. Yeah, damn.
But that's the thing. Like, throughout a lot of these episodes when we talk about iconic characters and stuff like that, we've made a lot with a little. Like, we be out here with 1 and 2 lines getting memorized for lifetime.
But now we need to be a lot with a lot.
Nah, facts.
We need to be a lot with a lot.
So with that, what does the future hold? How can we get to the point where we get to do a lot with a lot?
I think it's going to start with the RDC world.
Facts. Shout out RDC world.
I think those King Vader's his name.
Yep.
You know,
they doing big things.
I think it's gonna start with them doing things that are like the 5-10 minute things, right? I don't expect anybody to come out with the movie, right? But I do expect it to be. I think it starts there,
showing the demand and stuff.
Showing the demand, and then I think it's them partnering with someone who
can take the vision to the next level.
Yeah, like I'm gonna date myself, but the man's the OG of like getting the Spike Lees of the world, right? You know what I'm saying? Like getting the Donald Glovers of the world, right? You know what I'm saying? Like getting everyone who is in the game right now, and getting them to be like, "Yo, put your money on this, right? And let's make a movie." You know what I'm saying? And I think it could be something that's It doesn't have to be 2 hours. It could be an hour. Mm-hmm. You know, I think if we set our sights at building little by little, I think we could get there. I think that's how you build like a little cottage industry of like storytellers and telling certain stories. I think that's where you start.
It has to be, because those, especially with those creators you named, they've built their brand from being a part of the culture. Yeah. And still having that, they have all the pieces, like the love for the culture, the eye for the technical aspects, you know, the desire to tell those larger stories. Where it's not just a money grab, like they really live that.
They just need the thing behind them. You know what I'm saying? Like they need the machine behind them. And that's really what separates them. But I mean, like, let's look at Bel Air, right? Right. Bel Air started as like a 2-minute teaser that somebody just was like, I want to imagine what would a drama of Fresh Prince look like. It was like, for me, it was like nothing I want to watch. Yeah. But it was dope. Exactly. Dope enough that everyone shared it. It went all around the world and back again, enough for Will Smith to be like, well, let me and my company pick it up and we'll put it on this platform. Now, I also go to say, like, we have to be open to being on various platforms that ain't the main thing.
That's true.
Right? Like, that thing was on, what, Peacock or something? Yeah. So it's like, it wasn't like it was on primetime TV at 8. Right. It's like,
at the same time, at this point of how the streaming world has fractured and fragmented, all money is green.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like we gotta. But you know how we are. We are very much so.
It's
like,
not Netflix. Like I'm not even trying to hear.
You wasn't over here though, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like, it was on Tubi.
It was a thought that is now come to fruition out of my own mind. Yeah. So it's good enough.
I mean, like I joke about saying you was on Tubi, but when you look at Tubi, like look who's on there. Like people are creating, like are getting down with like. To your point, like a little and making a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love McGraw Ave. This is not a sci-fi thing, but I love McGraw Ave. And they put that thing together with what they got. Right. And like, I love it. Like, I be in both seasons. I didn't travel from that show it was on Amazon Prime, then went to Tubi for the second season, and I followed along with them. I was like, I got to find season 2, and when season 3 drop, I'll be there. Right. But it goes to the point of like, yeah, you also don't need $150 million. Right. You just need some people who are willing to get down and create. Exactly. Because again, when we create something and it's from us and we make it, like, we know what we talking about. Like, we put our spin on it and it's stuff we know we like.
That's facts, for sure.
You know.
So, I agree with that. Definitely having people that have love for the culture and all of that is what's going to take to like get us in the point of us being the leading roles, not just being supporting characters, and continuing to get to make those iconic moments for geek culture and everything.
Or ask me, I got a couple in the tuck. I got people who I want to work with too.
Boom,
Donald Glover or Peel.
Exactly. So. If you need ideas, we got ideas.
I got ideas in the story.
Just drop it.
I got a little bread too.
Drop us with an email.
Just hit us up, man. We got this.
We got you.
Look, that's all we need. Damn. Is Atlanta sci-fi?
I mean, you might see some things you think it is.
I'm just asking, like, where, like, let's wrap it up with that one. Let's wrap, because I feel like that's a culmination of a lot of things in that show. Where would you put Atlanta?
I mean, to me, Atlanta is a branch of sci-fi, I guess, because it's like absurdism. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know
especially that last season. With the time
I don't know where that lies, but like, it definitely has elements. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, we're going to wrap up with this. To everyone I named and everyone I missed, you matter. And we celebrate you. And we love you.
We do.
Like, even if I don't remember your name, I remember what you did and I remember what you wore.
And we see you. If you have one line, if you're just in the background, you still put in that work. We remember you. We do. And we respect you for sure.
And with that, man, we out.
We out. We'll see you on the next one, baby.
Peace.